Miko, sensing danger, subtly drops something from her shoe and throws it behind her, pretending to trip. Yuria interprets this as Miko casting a spell to create a barrier. Suddenly, spirits begin to rise, ready to confront the group. Hana has second thoughts about staying, but Yuria convinces her to press on. They force Miko to pose for a picture in the tunnel, and when Hana takes the shot, the photo reveals a disturbing number of spirits around them. Miko, realizing they need to leave before something worse appears, sees a new, menacing spirit emerge. Let's call it HDS2. This spirit was born from a woman killed in a giant iron container, but Yuria, unable to see HDS2, believes Miko is exorcising the spirits by herself. Hana, oblivious, runs deeper into the tunnel toward HDS2, prompting Miko to use her cockroach prank again to divert Hana. At the same time, HDS2 wipes out most of the spirits in the tunnel. Yuria, thinking Miko is the one destroying the spirits, tries to exorcise a small spirit near her. HDS2 then kills the spirit in front of Yuria, but Yuria believes she did it herself. Proud of her achievement, she turns to Miko to boast, while HDS2 sneaks up behind her, curious if anyone can see it. Before it can do any real harm, the two small white spirits from the shrine appear and cast a spell on HDS2, driving it away without killing it. The group hastily leaves the tunnel, having broken all the classic horror movie survival rules. On the bus ride home, Miko and Yuria are shaken by the events, but Hana, ever cheerful, pulls them in for a picture. Despite the tension, Hana's bubbly nature keeps things light, and Yuria finally feels like she's made true friends. She even sets the picture as her wallpaper and lock screen. Later, Miko and her brother Kyusuke go shopping for clothes as a gift for their mother. Kyusuke encourages Miko to try on the outfit since she and their mother are the same size. As Miko changes, a spirit appears behind her in the dressing room. Annoyed, Miko tries to ignore it while her brother pesters her to hurry up. When Kyusuke finally opens the curtain, both he and the spirit compliment Miko's look, and she decides to buy the outfit without going back into the dressing room. Afterward, they head to another store where Kyusuke shows off a goofy shirt with a chainsaw shark. On the train ride home, Kyusuke falls asleep on Miko's shoulder. A spirit, let's call it the Axeman, appears, wielding an axe. It moves down the row of passengers, striking through their heads but leaving no physical harm. The Axeman mutters, "Not here," before moving on to the next person. As the Axeman approaches Miko, she tries to wake her brother to move, but he stays asleep. When the Axeman reaches the person right before Miko, it finally says, "Found it," and pulls a spirit out of the passenger, bagging it. The Axeman then raises its axe toward Miko. In the midst of her fear, Miko remains still, fortifying her mind not to react. The Axeman swings at her, but nothing happens, and it moves on, leaving Miko mentally exhausted but unharmed. Miko and her brother get off the train at the next stop. While the occasion is unclear, it's clear their mom must be proud of them. Hana, always cheerful, rubs their pregnant teacher's belly, excitedly saying the baby is moving. The students will miss her during her maternity leave, and Hana jokes about missing her too. Miko notices a spirit hovering around the pregnant woman, entering and exiting her stomach. Unsure how to explain this without sounding strange, Miko instead advises her teacher to be careful around stairs and avoid lifting heavy things. Confused, the teacher shares that this is her second pregnancy after losing her first baby, a stillborn boy. Miko realizes the spirit is the stillborn child, watching over its mother. As the spirit forms a tiny baby hand and holds the teacher's hand, Miko understands the bond between them. Hana, touched by the moment, hugs their teacher, joking about helping with diapers. After they part ways, Miko reflects on why she can see these spirits and wonders if she should confront them like Yuria or her grandmother. When she approaches a vending machine, she sees a disgusting spirit inside. Unsettled by its appearance, she decides to ignore it, buys her drink, and moves on. The next day, Hana complains about a butterfly on the vending machine, oblivious to the spirits Miko sees. When Miko asks why Hana didn't get rid of it, Hana says she left it alone and went to a convenience store. Miko thanks her, realizing sometimes ignoring problems is the best strategy. Later, their substitute teacher arrives, and Miko's anxiety spikes. It's Tuno Zen, the man who previously tried to adopt a cat. Miko recognizes him, but not for the same reasons as her classmates who think he's friendly. What they can't see is the legion of animal spirits, dogs, and cats that surround him. Hana struggles to remember where she knows him from, while Miko dreads being in his class. As Zen takes attendance, the girls tease him, asking if he has a girlfriend. He brushes them off and continues. Meanwhile, Miko notices a high-level spirit watching Zen from the window. At lunchtime, Hannah and Miko go to the school store for snacks. As usual, Miko buys something simple while Hannah loads up on food. Still trying to place Zen, Hannah gives up, too hungry to think. Later, Miko sees Zen and notices strange prints forming on the glass behind him, though no one else sees them. Startled, she rushes to the bathroom. Hiding in a stall, she hears strange noises and fears a spirit has followed her. As she begins to relax, she turns around to see a terrifying spirit emerging from the toilet sink. Panicking, Miko pretends to check the next stall, trying to escape without alarming the spirit. After a creepy bathroom encounter where a spirit emerges from the toilet sink, Miko finds Yuria having lunch in the stalls. From this point, Yuria decides to join Miko and Hannah for lunch breaks. As they eat, Miko notices Zen walking down the hallway. Suddenly, a powerful demonic spirit teleports behind her, warning her not to look at Zen, then vanishing just as quickly. The encounter shakes Miko so badly that she begins to cry, but she excuses it by saying something flew into her eye. Her friends believe her, though they are concerned. Later, Miko, Hannah, and Yuria visit Mr. D's haunted houses. Hannah is terrified yet excited to experience the scares. As they explore, they encounter various spooky figures, with Hannah being the most frightened. Miko, however, finds herself oddly comfortable because, for the first time, everyone around her can see the creepy things. She no longer has to hide her reactions to the spirits. As the scares increase, Miko embraces this, even smiling as she screams, knowing she doesn't have to bottle up her fear. Yuria notices Miko's awed joy and confusion, but Miko is simply relieved to be in an environment where her reactions seem normal. At one point, the group reaches a checkpoint where they receive a stamp. A spirit appears at this moment, but Miko almost mistakes it for another haunted house scare. She screams, "Leave me alone," at the spirit, a rare moment of empowerment for her as she typically tries to ignore them. The group races out, collecting their reward, a box of donuts. As they leave, Miko whispers to Yuria about visiting a real haunted house sometime, indicating her growing comfort with spirits, at least in certain settings. Meanwhile, Zen receives a meal from a concerned woman who mentions strange occurrences involving crows and someone attacking a cat at the park. Zen's demeanor changes upon hearing this, and the crows begin acting suspiciously. He pours the stew down the sink after she leaves, despite her effort in making it. Zen claims his hand injury is from a broken glass, but the situation feels more sinister. Back at school, Miko and Hannah are running laps. Hannah complains about feeling extra hungry lately, which worries Miko. They joke around, but as Miko enjoys the run, a spirit races ahead of her, shouting, "Loser," ruining her moment. She stops running, shaken, and Hannah catches up to her, oblivious to what just happened. In class, Miko grows increasingly uncomfortable. Zen's presence is surrounded by spirits, most of them resembling cats or dogs. The same demonic spirit that warned Miko earlier now moves around Zen, clearly jealous and possessive. Miko finds it harder to be in the room, given the overwhelming number of spirits and attention from the jealous one. Eventually, the jealous spirit merges with Zen, and Miko becomes even more agitated. Miko considers calling upon the Axeman spirit from the train for help, but hesitates, unsure of the consequences. She weighs the pros and cons while trying to calm her nerves. Just then, Zen unknowingly approaches her and asks her to read the next passage in class. Shaken, Miko stands up, trembling and stammering, struggling to read aloud as the spirits around her intensify her fear.